Virgin Galactic community, welcome to a brand new video on this beautiful Tuesday, and I hope you had the amazing 4th of July. Yesterday the stock market was closed, so here we go. And there is a video that I will discuss with you today that is, in my personal opinion, the most revealing, the most leaking, the most interesting video the Colglazier CEO has ever give to any media since he is CEO. In my personal opinion, I have never seen another video that was so great for us to know, okay, what could happen next. And there is obviously a little bit of speculation, but obviously, when you see how he answers, and that's why I love to say, do your own research, see what they do in terms of interviews, listen to the CEOs, and we will dive into. So make sure to follow me on Instagram as well, where I'm posting, very, very much as well. Subscribe to this channel and smash it like, guys. We need like 600 likes on this video to go to the moon together, please. So make sure to do that as well. So let's dive in. Without further ado, let's dive into the last interview of Michael Colglazier, where he leaked basically so many things. So this interview is actually by Michael Colglazier and Bloomberg, okay? It was released 2 days ago. It has just over 2.7 thousand views, so not that big. But what they said and how they said it, I think it's great. Also from the journalist side, I feel like he asked some, let's say, neutral questions and some that are digging really deep, okay? So I really love this interview. Let's dive in.
Richard Branson is going to be going into space. We can debate where the line of space is. We'll do that a little later on in the conversation. You've said...
Okay, so here's he already saying, okay, what is actually space? And giving a hint that, he will discuss it with him later. So this got my attention first, but throughout the video, I got really curious what will come up. So that's just the beginning, okay?
Said it's not important who is going to be first here, Sir Richard or Jeff Bezos, but it looks like it's going to be Sir Richard. I'm curious, whose decision was it to make the first flight first?
So before he answers these questions, I always wonder for myself, actually, how is this decision process done and how long it takes, and when they actually decided to put Richard Branson up into space first. This behind the scenes are very, very interesting. So let's have a look.
Well, as you say, it's not important when any of these space flights go. What's important is that they're ready to go, and that's really what you're hearing from us here is we're ready. We had an incredibly successful flight back in May. We'd announced we were going to run a schedule of 4 test flights. The one on May 22nd hit all of our technical objectives, and we did deep analysis and looked across all the ships as we prepared for when the time of the next flight would be. The data that we have been using is also what we sent to the FAA, and the FAA used that as the basis for clearing our commercial license, which we'll use in 22 going forward. But technically, the ship performed just as we wanted it to do. So now we're going to repeat that flight profile for the remainder of this flight test program.
Okay.
But now the flight test program shifts to the commercial.
She actually wanted to cut him off, like, okay, and this will happen towards the interview. But Colglazier is still, he's going. He said, like, in his mind, I want to explain this so everybody understands. So that's why I like this very much.
Cabin and the private astronaut experience. We've always planned for Richard to be the person to test that private astronaut experience for us. We thought he might do that after we rehearsed it once in space. The truth of it is we actually do most of the training and rehearsals for that on the ground. And so these next 2 flights are going to be exactly the same. And we asked Richard which he'd prefer to be on. You can guess what he said. And so we're excited that he's going to be joining and testing the private astronaut experience for us.
Does this pull forward the timeline for private flight? And what exactly will it cost someone who isn't Richard Branson to take that flight?
So no, there's no pulling forward of our schedule or flight test program here. We are remaining on the exact same schedule we've been.
Okay, so this is an important part because obviously when they put Richard Branson on the new flight, will they still make another flight after they did the next flight, or will just, the next flight be already the Italian Air Force? This is a very good question, actually, because now they have like 2 in 1, right? So, but he's confirming that there's no, as of now, any, let's say, speed towards the test flight ending program. So let's further go on.
We had announced we would do these next 2 flights in the summer, and pending the data analysis, which we needed to complete first, we'd always expected internally mid-July was when we would likely be going with the next of these and the first of our commercial cabin crew flights. So that's all the same, and we're going to continue that same test flight program. We do now have a clear license from the FAA to do commercial sales. That won't happen until 22 after we finish the flight test. However, after the second of these next 2 upcoming flights, as planned, we will be reopening up sales to the marketplace, and we're excited for that moment. That'll be late summer, early fall.
Okay, so there's a couple of things. First, he says, and this is a little bit, interesting, he says now as they have the commercial license, they are able to do the sales. Are you not able to do the sales when you don't have the license? Question. So Blue Origin, if they don't have the license yet, they cannot do sales. So that's why they make the auction first. This is a very interesting and important part. So actually Blue Origin cannot sell any, maybe they can just take reservation but not sell tickets until they get the FAA approval. And on the other side, he says, they are open now late summer, early fall, the sales, which, will bring the first revenue to the company, which is, this is one of the biggest arguments out there, the company has no revenue. Yes, but if another company need 10 years to build exactly the same thing like Blue Origin or Virgin Galactic, then this is worth money, guys, okay? 10 years in space is really costing you money, at least $10 billion, okay? In my personal opinion. If you start from scratch, it's very, very hard to do. So I think like Virgin Galactic stock as of this moment is a little bit undervalued. I really believe that with the test flight now, it should be a $100 to $150 stock. I know it sounds a little bit high, but I think that would be the fair value for all of that, what they are doing, for all of the business they are in, for all of that money that they put in. So I think now it's very undervalued.
Michael, if I'm going into space, I want to go into space. The common line is the international...
I really like the first answer by Michael Colglazier. He seems to be a very sharp guy. And, instead of, laughing or something, he said, good, if you want to go to space, good. I really like that. This is a good hint on his personality as well.
Recognized sort of demarcation point. It's at 62 miles. You guys are going to 55. If I want to go to space, I want to go into space. Why would I go with you? I'm going to get a great view of the curvature of the Earth, but am I really going to be in space?
Well, we go well over the astronaut line. In fact, we're the only private company that's taken private citizens up into space, come back and been recognized by the U.S. government as private astronauts. So,
bam!
Yes, we...
You know what I mean? Bam! He just showed it that, he is, very hard and can, go back on an argument and, just saying this one more thing, we are actually the only company that's doing it right now and have the FAA approval. So don't come up with this kind of arguments, okay?
We are taking you into space undoubtedly, and we're very excited about that. What I would say is Virgin Galactic is focused on bringing you to a place in space to also look back to the planet. And so we are going to do that. It's the entirety of what the vision of the company is built for.
Right.
There are other people out there that are doing lots of other business models that will take you up as well. But this is our business. And we think the view we will give you from space is going to be incredible and life-changing. And that's why we're here.
So how many people have signed up for this? How many customers so far? And what do they need to pay you in order for Virgin Galactic to turn a profit?
So we've had about 600 customers have signed up. We call them future astronauts because they will become astronauts once they fly. And they paid, the last time we had a public price out there was $250,000 a number of years ago. So we have not posted our pricing for when we reopen up sales. That will happen just in advance of when we do open up sales. We expect that will be higher than where it has been in the past as we go forward, but we haven't put that pricing out yet today.
Okay, so no pricing, definitely higher than $250,000, which is great, which we anticipated here as well. So my personal guess is that they start somewhere with the very first tickets, like $1 million. Then they will go down to maybe, $750-ish, and then like $500. And this can go for years then, until they really reach the price of $250,000. Remember Tesla, when they said, oh, Model 3 will be 35,000 cars. And even after, I think, 2 years, we still cannot buy the car for $35,000 if I'm right. Okay, so it takes some, you can advertise it, yes, but you start with the very, very high price, high margin, because people want to be first and so on and so forth. So very, very good tactic here in my personal opinion.
Michael, the stock's been roaring. You're a meme stock, you're a Reddit stock. Are you going to be selling stock to raise money?
Well, as we said, we've been well capitalized. We raised money back about a year ago or so, and that's served us well. We're moving through our flight test program and in good shape. We have a lot to do as we grow our fleet of spaceships along the way. But we believe we're positioned well, and as we're ready, we will, of course, look to make sure that we're funded for the future growth of the business. Right now, though, we're just focused on completing these flight tests and getting that program done really, really well. And I can tell you this next space flight, our first fully crewed flight, is going to be something to see when we do this next weekend in New Mexico.
Okay, so the last part is also interesting because I think he gives a hint, okay, we need to have more money to build a fleet of spaceships, but on the same time, he's saying, but first we want to complete the test flight program. So in my personal conclusion, it's, okay, we will raise some money, but after the test flight program, somewhere in fall, this would mean that they expect a higher stock price because then they can actually raise much more money for less shares, or they actually want to raise $1 billion but with much less shares than actually needed maybe now. Okay, so I think that this gives us a hint that actually the price pressure was not due to selling shares. In my personal opinion, we will see because this will be announced soon, but it seems like they want to wait because they know after the test flight program the stock will be much higher, and then they want to sell the shelf stocks. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So let's dive into the conclusion of this video. Before diving into the conclusion of this video, I want to show you a tweet here, okay, by Ron Rosano, and he said, cool fact, because everyone is talking about, okay, what about the view, what about the space area where they're going up, Blue Origin is going much higher and so on, but actually he said, cool fact, Virgin Galactic gateway to space at Spaceport, New Mexico is just 167 miles from Blue Origin landing pad in West Texas. Which means that views from space won't be all that different, okay? So here you can see that the spaceport is really very, very close. So in the end of the day, you go up very, very close together. The one is going a little bit higher, but same space view, basically, and same view on Earth. So it's the details, the small details that make the difference. So let's summarize. So Colglazier making a fantastic interview. I think there was some very interesting parts like the price, how it came that Richard Branson went to space, what about the ticket sales, when it will open, what will be the price, what they will use the money for when they raise the money. So many interviews in just like few minutes of interviews. So watch everything out there because it could be the gold nugget that gives you extra confidence to buy or sell the stock. And this is definitely, in my personal opinion, I'm still buying the stocks as much as I can. And I hope you like this video. Share this to everyone who's interested into space, who want to be educated into space. I hope you like this video. Smash the like button. We need 600 likes on this video, the same amount that we have in Future Astronauts at Virgin Galactic. So thank you very much. Take care, and I wish you all the best.